Hello everyone, welcome to Lango Learning System. My name is Daniela and I'm an IELTS teacher at Lango. Today I'd like to share some useful information about IELTS with you. Let's begin. In the academic IELTS writing, many idioms, proverbs and cliches are used to vary the expression. In fact, sometimes they can have a side effect on your essay score because it is not suitable to use them in a formal style writing. The first phrase that you should avoid is "in a nutshell." It's just when you write an informal letter to a friend in General Writing Task 1, not for an academic one. For example, you want to tell your friend your problem, and to sum it up, you can say, "I think I won't tell you a whole story, but in a nutshell, we will leave this company as soon as possible." It's a very informal case to use "in a nutshell." However, to achieve a high score, you should say "to conclude" or "in conclusion." For example, to conclude, environmental damages have reached an alarming rate, so the individual effort will not greatly reduce its impact on residential life. The next phrase is "a couple of." We won't say "a couple of." We would use the alternative "several." In speaking test, we can say, "I've changed my daily routines for a couple of weeks." In a writing task, it is advised not to use the phrase "a couple of." For example, we should say, "The economic development index of this country has remained low for several weeks." Two more words that we should avoid are "kind of," "sort of." They are especially used to express the uncertainty. For example, "This survey is kind of informative for junior students." To stick for the formal one, we can amend it to "This survey is somewhat informative for junior students." To some extent, this survey is informative for junior students. We also shouldn't use "a lot of," "lots of" in writing tasks. It is frequently used in speaking though. It can be replaced by "many," "much." For instance, many students choose to pursue their career as freelance artists after graduating. Besides some above words, the pronoun "you" should be avoided as well. Instead of saying "you can clearly see the student's performance through their final test result," you should make it more objective by saying "the student's performance can be clearly seen through the results of the final test." Next, we will talk about a group of words that should not be taken into writing tasks. They are abbreviations: a phone, a telephone, a photo, a photograph, a fridge, a refrigerator, info, information, a uni, a university, a cop, a policeman, ASAP, as soon as possible. When you have to list out a series of tools, machines or something, don't use "so on," etc. at the end of the sentence. You should end the list and complete your sentence. For example, the main vehicles of transportation in Vietnam include bikes, motorbikes, and cars. One more thing. Idioms also commonly appear in some academic essays, uncontrollably. The first one is "at the end of the day." Its meaning is the same as "in a nutshell," and also shouldn't be used in writing an essay. For example, at the end of the day, children should take part in offline classes at school rather than receive homeschooling education. It will be better if you say "in conclusion" or to conclude. The second one is get out of hand. It is quite common to use when you're no longer in control of something, but you should not use it in writing. The replacement for it can be unmanageable, uncontrollable. The third idiom I want to mention is once in a blue moon. It means rarely, hardly does something happen. For example, he comes to class on time once in a blue moon. The final one is since the dawn of time. But it does not sound right for native speakers, so don't do this in the IELTS writing. The last thing we will talk about today is simple words. If you are aiming to get a band 7 or higher, you have to upgrade your language by using advanced words to get. It's very common and a simple word, right? We should say receive to obtain instead. For example, my son feels delighted to get an excellent degree. It can be changed into my son feels delighted to receive an excellent degree. To get phrase is replaced by to receive. And you usually say, I give my mother presents on Women's Day. Or, this book gives me a deeper insight of the character's life. To make it more complex in writing essay, you can say to provide something to offer. Depending on the context, we can use some others to replace. For example, entering this university offers me a chance to study abroad for 2 years. To be bad. It's a super simple adjective that's used to describe something unpleasant. For example, bad results is changed to poor, negative results. To be big, we can replace it by huge, large, enormous, vast. For example, deforestation made huge impacts on the life of people. Here is a piece of advice that I have for you today. I believe that if you can minimize the usage of these idioms or colloquial expressions in your writing exam, your score will be enhanced significantly. I hope you have found this lesson helpful in preparing for your IELTS test. If you want to sign up for IELTS online courses at Lango, click on the link below. These IELTS courses are designed to cater to individual needs and provide personal learning pathways. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. I'm Daniela from Lango Learning System. See you next time. Bye-bye.